Hey guys, what's going on? Max here. Haven't done a live in a little bit. We've been super busy with just everything with the consulting side, the course side, speaking, so much stuff that's been going on in the last 2 weeks since I got back from Barcelona. But really wanted to do a just like a quick recap of that event, Affiliate World, and share some exciting stuff with everybody. So I'm just going to make sure, let me go down to the post, make sure we're good, we're live, everything's sharing. And okay, we are live. We are on. Awesome. Who's here? Let me know you guys are here. Hit the like button. Let me know. I want to know who's here in the comments. Something I'm weak at is asking for engagement. So I got to do it just to know a little more about who's watching right now. Let me drop this link real quick. Grab your... Hey, Ezio, how's it going? Grab your copy the full replay at awesome. Pull that replay from affiliate. We'll get started in just a second. There we go. Drop the link to that. Although I dropped it as my what's up, Doug? How's it going, brother? I dropped the post from my profile instead of my public figure page. That's a doozy. So let me just change that up. Drop this down here. Second time's a charm. Boom. Okay, I can pin that. I can rock and roll. I can delete this comment. And then we'll be off to the races. So anyway, it's been, a lot of stuff been going on. I wanted to do this earlier, sooner than later. And, but anyway, it's better that I did it at all than to wait until, to never do it. So I had a awesome time. It's probably the, the biggest stage that I've spoken on, which is kind of cool. The last year I've gotten to speak on bigger and bigger stages. Affiliate World definitely is the top in terms of like attendees. There's 2,800 people there. Obviously not all 2,800 were in the stage area. A lot were kind of walking around. They were checking out other things, but they had big like teleprompters out there, like streaming. It was really cool. It was a really, really well done event. The whole team at Affiliate World just did an absolutely amazing job. They killed it. Like the guys and girls at Affiliate World put on a top-notch event with the best people in the world. You get treated so incredibly well as a speaker. I don't know about the attendees. I'm sure they got treated well as well. But anyway, I got to speak about something that I'm super passionate about, and I think is more important today than ever, which is post-purchase retargeting. So really focusing on the back end, what happens after that sale. And so many people right now are focused on, the front end. They're focused on, hey, maximizing, straight sales, just sending people to an offer page, getting them to buy. And that's really their main focus. And I apologize. I'm just trying to tag the right people in here because there were so many amazing people at the event, and I want to make sure that they get their credit and see this. So there was just like a great reception on the content because I think people are realizing how important it is. It's more important than ever right now to actually have post-purchase retargeting in your arsenal. And so I'm going to spend some time today going through kind of what I talked about, all that good stuff. I can ask some questions about it. I'm just finishing the last tags, and then I'm going to get rocking and rolling here. Did anybody here actually get to make it? Has anybody here been to an Affiliate World event? Has anybody here been to Barcelona? I highly recommend both of them, but I definitely recommend attending an Affiliate World event. So the next one is in Bangkok in December, and I'm super excited about that. Still working with Chad to decide if I'm going to speak at that. I know I'm speaking at Ecom Mastery Live, which is an event they have in tandem on the back of it. But overall, it was just awesome. I'm super excited to continue working with them, continue speaking there. I got to open for Ryan Dice, which was kind of cool. I feel like the opening act to like the Eagles or the Beatles or this super high end, amazing band or whatever. It was just crazy. Like being the first speaker of the event definitely put a lot of pressure on me, for lack of a better word, like having to open up and be the very first speaker was kind of crazy, was kind of intimidating, but at the same time was also a lot of fun. So I wanted to share a little bit about what I spoke about, kind of share some of the slides, and more importantly, what I want to do is like there was so much knowledge packed into a 2-day window. So in 2 days, they brought 2,800 of the best marketers in the world, affiliate managers, everybody in the world into a single place, and they just hit them with knowledge. So there was a range of affiliate marketing topics, e-commerce topics. Ryan Dice spoke, Evan and Steve Tan spoke, Tim Burr did a panel, Nick Shackelford, Mohammed. Like there's so many, Demetrius, so many incredible people that I've gotten to meet over the last year were sharing their best stuff there. There was panels, there were stage talks, 30-minute talks, and it was all high-end content, meaning there wasn't a lot of like beginner stuff where, hey, set up your pixel this way, your ad this way. It was all intermediate to advanced material. And the cool thing is if you missed it, you can actually watch all the recordings. So they recorded the entire thing, and they just put the replay up for everything. So I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to throw this up real quick. So right now they have the entire replay. I dropped the link in the comments below if you guys want to check out the link to learn more about it. But basically they recorded all the talks, including the panels. They put them in this really neatly organized, I believe they're using Thinkific. It looks very familiar to our course, broken down by affiliate marketing and e-commerce sessions. And so you can come in here and you can watch all the talks. So here's mine. Mohammed did a Shopify masterclass. The Tan brothers, they talk about how they do product research, how they find the right products. Van Oaks, incredible dude. First time I ever met him in person. Just amazing dude. Has by far the best mustache in the world, at least in the e-commerce and marketing world. He's talked a lot about split testing influencer marketing. So what they're doing in influencer marketing, some really cool stuff there. Ben Malal, great guy, good friend, talked about kind of the story, the marketing and the narrative, how you talk to people, how you communicate your message, which is so important, especially nowadays. Greta Van Riel talked about how they do pre-launch. So how they do the marketing to build up anticipation, build up your audiences, build up your lists so you can have really big launches. Nathan Chan talked about Instagram. Mohammed talked about conversion optimization. They did an amazing iStack, and Eric Dick did an amazing panel with Ben Malal, Greta, Demetrius, Mohammed, Nick Proney, Nick Shackelford, which is an amazing panel. A lot of Q&A, super valuable. And then there was a e-commerce panel that had James Petrellis, Jared Goetz, and Tim Bird and Tim Caldwell. So there was an amazing panel there. And then that was just e-commerce section. Then on the affiliate marketing side of it, Ryan Dice crushed it with how they tripled their lead value in 30 days. And there was just, going through, Ollie Gardner was the keynote. He went through I think it was 150 slides. Something like that. It was insane how he had more slides packed into a 30-minute presentation, 40-minute presentation than I've ever seen before. It was just, it was absolutely insane. So there was just a wealth of knowledge. I can play the intro real quick. They did such a cool job with the branding and all of that. Like when you walk up to the stage, they had this incredible screen, it was so cool. This is a giant display they had wrapping around. It was kind of crazy seeing this all set up and standing in front of this many people. That's really embarrassing. Which was super exciting. Everyone doing good. This is the first talk. So I know, yes, there we go. I like that guy. So they tell you when you're speaking to focus on the few people that are super interested. So you and me, the entire talk, we're just going to be in sync there. Little insulted that Eric decided that his big, exciting talk was right. So anyway, it was really cool. Like, they did a great job. All the recordings, super high end. They go through the slides. So you can see the slides. Plus, you can, if you want to see me talking, you can do that as well. So they just did an incredible job of the recordings and the replay. Super, super professional, super high end. It's really, really well done. And so obviously you couldn't, everyone here couldn't be there. I know it's a big trip for people. You got to go to Spain. It's expensive to get the tickets. I think the tickets were starting at several $100s. So definitely a expensive event to attend. But you can get the replay, which is really cool. And you can watch it from the comfort of your couch, the comfort of your bed, whenever you want, which is exciting. Let me make sure this shared in the right places. So it didn't. That's why. So LiveLeap, I use a cool tool called LiveLeap that shares my my Facebook Lives on other channels. And so it didn't share this. I was wondering why the view count was so low. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to make sure I share this on our pages, our pro pages. And then I'm going to talk about some of the post-purchase retargeting ads that I was running and everything there. Who's got, Marsha, how's it going? Who's got, well, first of all, who's excited and interested to learn more about post-purchase retargeting? Is that something you guys want to learn more about? Who wants to learn more about maximizing the lifetime value of my customers? Is that something you guys would find interesting, find valuable, you think would help your business? I'm genuinely curious if that's something that's of value to people watching right now. Now, don't all talk at once. Cindy said definitely. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Marsha said yes. Doug said retargeting, which I'm guessing is a yes, which is awesome. Cool. So I'm just sharing this real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I have a software that does this usually, but for whatever reason, it's not doing it right now. It's not sharing the full thing in the right places. So I'm just sharing it into our group and all that good stuff. And then I'm going to dive right in and we'll be rocking and rolling. So Unicorn Q Hub, drop it in there. Okay. Cool. Put this down here. What do you guys businesses do? I know what Cindy does and Doug a little bit. So anybody watching right now, what is even Cindy and Doug, you guys can put it here if you want to plug your business. Drop your link to your website, what your business does. I want to learn a little bit more, and I want people to learn more about their the businesses as well that are people that are members of this community. That matters to me. Okay. And can I just vent a little bit too while I'm doing this? Like, I'm getting so tired of seeing. Maybe I shouldn't say this. I need to bite my tongue. I've just been frustrated a lot lately with like a lot of our clients and stuff are seeing. Grab the replay here. Talk. Okay. Anyway, I'm just getting tired lately of like, I've been seeing so many posts in groups and all over the place. And I've been seeing at events too, where we have clients coming to us now or students, and they just have these unrealistic expectations in their head of like where they should be at ROAS wise, what they should be doing sales wise. And I just want to remind everybody that everybody's business is different, right? So your business is different than the next person's business, which is different than the next person's business. And thus, like, your KPIs are going to be different, right? So what's profitable for your business could be totally different than what's profitable for somebody else's business, right? And so I just want everyone that's watching this, I know we'll get into the affiliate world stuff, but this is important because when I speak to events, I'd like to make this very clear to people. And I always disclose this. Like, when I share stuff, when I'm talking about my results, I always make it clear that, hey, these results are from this specific retargeting campaign. And these types of retargeting campaigns have much higher return on ad spend than cold traffic campaigns or campaigns here. And that the only reason that this campaign is doing this one has a 10x return on ad spend is because I invested this much on cold traffic to get people to this point. And so part of my presentation and part of just the overall like message I want to get out is that running traffic, advertising in general, involves multiple touches, right? Advertising and marketing is not just about putting up a single ad to people that never heard of you before and getting to buy. Like that isn't marketing or advertising. That usually doesn't happen. Marketing is about nurturing. It's about finding the right people and hitting them with the right messages at the right time and building the relationship, finding out their objections, overcoming those objections, building the trust and the credibility, and then making a very great offer to them. And that involves multiple types of ads. That involves multiple sequences. That could involve multiple platforms and mediums. And so at the end of that might be a retargeting campaign that looks incredible, that has a 20x return on ad spend. For every dollar you spend, maybe make $20. But what that doesn't take into account, if I just isolate that campaign or that ad, it doesn't take into account what I've spent to get the person to this point. And so I just want to make that clear before talking about like our post-purchase retargeting or any of our retargeting, because that disclaimer is not made enough, not nearly enough, that these results, one, aren't common. I spent a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of years failing, making mistakes to get to this point. So that's one thing to take into account. And the second thing to take into account is that when you look at some of these screenshots I might show you and see a 15x, a 25x, a 30x return on ad spend, it needs to be clear that, hey, let's say I spent, and let me see if I can pull the keynote up and actually just show you this. One sec. I'm going to see if I can find a screenshot of, let me pull up a different one and I'll show you. So unicorn webinar. This isn't something I presented at Affiliate World, but it is important. What I presented, I just didn't show the screenshot. So let me find the screenshot. Okay, cool. I'm going to pull this over. I'm going to go and I'm going to share my screen. Everyone can see my screen? Hit the like button if you can see my screen. Court said that's a cool poster in the background. Where can I find that? So this is actually not a poster. It's a canvas. This is a full canvas. And it is there's prints. This is actually an original. And I feel really embarrassed right now because why am I drawing a blank on, oh man, this is really embarrassing. Rob Cicadis, sorry. So Rob Cicadis is a badass artist who makes these big canvases that are all themed in like $100 bills. So he has one with like Trump, Ronald Reagan. He has like a giant grizzly bear, like for bear market. He has all kinds of really cool canvases. So definitely go check out Rob Cicadis. We love his work. We bought 2 of his originals. So I have one and Jeremy has one. And yeah, they're badass. They're awesome. Cool. So can everyone see this slide with the 43x ROAS? Can everyone see that? Right now, let me know. I want to be talking about something if you guys can't see it. Crickets? Bueller, can you hear me? All right. Cool. So this is the screenshot from one of our campaigns for Pat Flynn. So in this this campaign, these results look incredible, right? Like, who wouldn't want to spend $1 and make $43, right? Everybody would would jump for joy if I could spend $1 to make $43. That would be like hitting the lottery. And if that was the case and I could just do this out of thin air, I would be on an island retired right now, and I wouldn't be doing Facebook Lives talking about this stuff, right? That's the reality. Or maybe I would. I'd get bored on the island probably. We'll see when I get an island. But what this doesn't take into account, and this is why whenever I talk about this slide, I always do this talk. And I didn't have time at Affiliate World because it's only 30 minutes. That's why I'm doing it now. And then I'll talk about the Affiliate World, which is an extension of this. This is all warm traffic, right? So you'll see here the name of these ad sets. This is downloaded podcast cheat sheet. This is Power Up Podcasting landing page visitors. This is waiting list. So all of these buckets are existing warm audiences. They're not buyers yet, but they're warm, right? And people don't just magically end up here, right? Sure, maybe there's some organic traffic that goes to these and fills them up, but certainly not enough to, to make this type of money off of it, right? So what people need to realize is, okay, this specific campaign, I spent $1,000.68 on it, and it generated $46,200 in sales. This specific campaign, this is for a 5-day course launch. What the screenshots don't show is that I had to invest about $6,000 in the week or 2 weeks leading up to this to build up the waiting list and to get people to download the cheat sheet. Okay. So I invested in my cold traffic or Pat's cold traffic here to get these warm audiences. So when I did launch a product, I could hit those warm audiences with the offer and they were already warmed. And it shortened my testing cycle, allowed me to scale much quicker and sell a lot faster. And that allowed me to get these results. So what needs to be taken into account when you're talking about results is that, hey, this campaign might be a 1 to 46 or a 1 to 43, whatever it is. But I also spent $6,000 that without spending that $6,000, this wouldn't exist. So I need to roll that investment into the total cost for this campaign. So now what I'm looking at is instead of a 43x, I'm at, $7,000 in spend on $46,000, which is still absolutely amazing. But now I'm more like a 6 or 8x return on ad spend, which for an info product, digital product, still absolutely incredible. And still I would scale, I would spend $1 million a day if I could with those results. But I just wanted to share that with everybody. I know that was kind of like a tangent, but it's important. It's been bothering me a lot lately because I see it so much, and I try not to get active in these Facebook groups or, these places where a lot of this shit is happening. But it's hard for me to like sit by and when people come to me saying, hey, we want to have a 5 return on ad spend. And I ask them, well, where did you get that number from? They're like, I don't know. We heard it. I'm like, well, what ROAS are you profitable at? What's your break even? And they're like, well, 2. It's like, so why do you need to make 5x? And they don't have an answer. So I think it's super important that before you even jump into this stuff, the triple threat retargeting, to maximize conversion rate, AOV, and lifetime value, you need to understand where your KPIs and benchmarks are for your business, not for other people's businesses, not based on other people's results and screenshots, which you can't validate or prove, but for your business, right? If I spend 1 and make 3, am I profitable or do I lose money? If I'm profitable, great. I'm going to keep spending. You don't need to be making 10x returns to scale, right? You don't. Because for a fact, so the people that speak at these events, Tim Bird and these guys I've gotten to be friends with, and Tim's we've become pretty close the last 2 months. Like, they're the smartest and the best ad buyers in the entire world, just without a doubt, on Facebook. And they're not talking about 10x returns. Like, they're scaling offers maybe at 2 to 3x, but they're wildly profitable at 1.5. They're profitable at 1.5. So if they're getting 2x, 2.5x, they're scaling. And if you're spending $50,000 a day, even if you're only making, 50 cents for every dollar you spend, that adds up pretty quick, right? That's $25,000 a day. So you need to focus on your metrics, your KPIs. Where are you break even at? Where are you profitable at? And what's more important to you? And this is a question I ask everybody. Would you rather have fancy screenshots with big ROAS numbers, or would you rather have more money that you're putting in your pocket at the end of the day? That's the $1 million question that I ask everybody. Okay. Would you rather have a 10x ROAS and spend $100 a day, or would you rather have a 2x ROAS and spend $20,000 a day? And so that's at the end of the day where it really matters. Cindy had a question, and I'll make this, I'll talk about some of the stuff I talk about affiliate world, because this is all important stuff, and I'll throw up some slides there. I just wanted to share this because I think everybody that follows me, everyone that's a member of our community, should get the replay. Like, it's a no-brainer. If you want to grow your business this year and you're doing anything online, any paid, any e-com, any affiliate, anything like that, then you need to get the replay to the Affiliate World Europe. You will, I guarantee, pick up at least one thing between those 19 different talks and panels that you can implement into your business to make the investment back, without a doubt. It's the easiest investment. And I'm actually watching all the replays, because I didn't get to watch all the talks. I had to do interviews and stuff, and I'm going back now watching them. I'm watching, the panels and hearing, hey, what's Tim talking about with the scaling method and some of the stuff they're doing? What are Evan and Steve talking about with finding products? It's all mind blowing to me and so valuable. And so I guarantee, like, the links in the comments below, go check it out. You can see all the speakers. You can see what they were talking about. It breaks it down by how advanced it is, intermediate, beginner, advanced. But just grab it, right? It's a really low investment for how much content you're getting. And you'll get my entire talk, plus you'll get all the other talks. And like I said before, I guarantee that that you'll get value out of it. And I'm thinking about doing a special bonus for anybody that buys. So anybody that buys the replay, I'm thinking about something special I can do. One of the things I'm thinking about potentially doing is a kind of private online mastermind thing, where it might be an hour or 2 hours that anybody that gets the replay, we can do like a Zoom and do like a mini mastermind, and you pick my brain and ask me questions and stuff. So I think I'm going to do that. So make sure to grab the replay, and that'll be really fun, I think, to do kind of a more intimate online mastermind where we can dive into your business and all that stuff. So, anyway, Cindy asked, I'd love to know how you determine what your benchmark is for a lead for a campaign, so that we still have a positive return when you factor in the retargeting. Yeah, that's a great question, Cindy. So the big thing is you need to look at the end numbers and work backwards, right? So if you know that my net profit per customer, for example, for a first-time customer is X, I can now work backwards from my purchase conversion rate to then, how many people go from leads to buying, to then I can find out what I can pay per lead. So it's, I'm trying to do it, just visualize in my head. It's usually something I put on an Excel sheet, but you need to work backwards to know what I'm willing to pay per lead, then per click. You can go all the way to impression, if you know all your conversion rate metrics. So I'm trying to see, let's say you have a, okay. So let's say you net $10, actually, let's say $100. So let's say you net $100 per buyer. So per first time buyer. So you net $100, right? Let me grab, I might have to doodle some stuff. Actually, I can, let me see, I did it for my webinar. Let me see if I can go backwards for you on this. Yeah, so actually what we did, so I'll give you an actual example, because we did this for our webinar. So for our webinar, for example, we looked at our numbers. So our what our price point was, what our conversion rate was, what our show rate was for people that registered, and then we found out what we could pay. So we know that our conversion rate on a live webinar is 10%, right? So 10% of people that show up to our webinar buy. We know our price point is $19.97, and assuming we have 100% margins, info product, digital product. So we're netting $19.97 per customer, per buyer. We also know that we have a 30% show rate, meaning that if 100 people register for the webinar, 30 are actually going to show. Okay. So what this does math-wise is if we get 100 people to register for a webinar, 30 are going to show up, 3 are going to buy. We're going to then net $5,991 on that webinar. Okay. So now we know that based on our KPIs or our past data, we are netting $59.91 per 100 registrants for the webinar. So now what I can do is to find out what I can pay per registrant, I can take that profit number and divide the registrant number. So if I know that if I net $59.91 for 100 registrants, I take $59.91, I divide 100, and I know that now I can pay $59.91 per webinar registrant to be profitable. Does that make sense, Cindy? Or for anybody here? Working backwards. So again, working backwards from the profit per customer through your different conversion points where somebody turns into another step in the funnel. So for me, it was add to webinar registrant to attending to webinar, attending webinar to buyer, and then profit per buyer. And now I can work backwards. So if I know all of those numbers except the cost per registrant, I can find that, right? As long as you know all the other numbers, you can always find the one that's missing. That's what it comes down to. And that model, that process can be used for your e-com store. It can be used for straight lead gen, right? Just instead of doing webinar registrants, it's lead magnet downloads, right? So I could say the same. I could just swap out instead of a webinar, it's a lead magnet. So if I'm doing, if I have an ebook I'm giving away, and I know that, it would change a little bit because there's not the show rate, but you could just skip that step. So if you know that, if 100 people, the 100 people would download the lead magnet, or actually we can do it that way. So 100 people download the lead magnet, and out of those 100 who download it, 30 actually open it and read it. And out of the 30 who actually open and read it, 3 buy. So you can do the same thing, 100% download it, 30% open it, 10% actually of the open actually buy. And so you can work backwards there to find out what you can afford to pay per lead, per registrant, per ebook download, whatever it might be. And I recommend doing that for anybody watching right now. It's absolutely critical to do that, to know those numbers and know those metrics for your business. Because if you don't know them, you're just, you're kind of, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it, but you're fighting with your hand behind your back, right? You kind of know where you want to be, but you don't know whether this ad is good or bad because you're not looking at the right metric to determine success, especially if it's towards the top of the funnel. Because again, like I talked about, everything's connected. So for example, for Pat's ads there, and that screenshot I shared with you guys, we had the waiting list and we had the podcast cheat sheet downloads, and those audiences performed really, really well, but we had to invest in those audiences earlier and we didn't sell anything there. So we didn't have a purchase number to judge success. So we had to go by cost per download. And so what you can do there is now I can work backwards and look at, okay, out of all the people who downloaded the cheat sheet, how many converted to buyers and what was the net profit per buyer? And now we know what we can afford to pay per cheat sheet download using the same formula I just shared with you. And now we can run those front end campaigns where we're investing in the audience confidently, even though we're not selling anything at that point, that we might not be selling something for a few weeks or a few months. So it's really, really important to do that. Cool. So yeah, this is really our presentation that I did there, talking about a triple threat retargeting method, increasing average order value and lifetime value to outbid and outlast our competitors. I'm not going to go through all these slides because obviously I can't. This is not my property. It's my property, but I'm not going to just give it all away for free because they're selling it right now for the replay as part of the package. What I can do is share some of the cool stuff that we dove into there. So let me let me do that if that's cool with everybody. So let me go down here. Let me see if I can share a few cool ads. So a few little things. So one thing, because I know a lot of you do e-com and a lot of you are discounting. One of the key things we talked about was if you do any discounting, to make sure you're getting rid of those customers from your custom audiences. So that's super important. So if you end up discounting, let's say it's the holidays and you do some big sale, you still want to keep those people separate from your core buyer audiences you're building lookalikes on top of. So there's two things you could do there. One is, let me see if I have it down here. So one is you can use the pixel to dynamically create those audiences for higher value customers. So you can, set a price point. So only create an audience people that purchased and spent over X or made a certain number of purchases. You can also obviously upload them manually into your CRM. So you can download and export your customer list. So export the entire list and then remove anybody that got a discount and upload a clean list of just full price customers. Now you can build a lookalike on top of that. What you can also do is build a lifetime value custom audience. So if you can't remove the discount, at least export with purchase values, meaning there's a column that shows all of your total spend per customer. So Shopify does that. They'll share that column with you, and then you can upload that into Facebook, and then you tell Facebook which column is a dollar value. And so it'll look and it'll say, okay, you have 1,000 customers in here ranging from, spending low end to high end. Facebook's going to look for people more like the ones that spent a lot of money. So Facebook will kind of do that work for you. I still think it's very valuable to get rid of the discount buyers just in general to make it super clean. But if you can't, then this is like a good backup and alternative is to use the CLTV. So I think that's super important to get rid of those discount shoppers, because again, if you keep them in there, then Facebook is going to find more people that match those people, right? That's what lookalikes are doing. So when you're doing lookalikes of anybody, like Facebook's going out and they're finding people that look like this person. They're bucketing and segmenting their users to match that avatar. And so if you're sending Facebook, if it's a custom audience and it's got 1,000 buyers, but 200 of them are deal seekers and discount shoppers who bought because of the price and not because of the value, that can heavily dilute your lookalike audience. So just get rid of those individuals. I think that's so important. And that was a key part of the talk in Barcelona, was about really segmenting and cleaning out your lists. And this becomes more and more important the more you scale, right? So as your spend gets higher and as you're getting more sales a day and increase your customer list to the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, this becomes so much more important, because now you have when you're getting started, you don't have the luxury of being able to just focus on people that spend $100 or more, just focusing on repeat buyers, because the lists are really small. You might only have 20, 30 people that match that criteria. So you got to kind of throw everyone in there. But as you get more customers, you only need a few thousand people in a custom audience to build strong lookalikes. You don't need 100,000 buyers in a custom audience. We haven't seen at that level, when you're talking about, the difference between a lookalike with 5,000 customers versus 10,000 customers. We're not seeing, or 50,000 or 100,000. There's not a lot of variability there. From 100 to 1,000, that's a big difference. From 100 to 5,000 is a big difference, or even a few hundred to a few thousand. But a few thousand to tens of thousands, again, not as big of a difference. So at that case, if you have 100,000 buyers, now you should consider really diving into those CSVs, into those indexes of customers, and filtering people out. Starting to get more robust with your segmenting, meaning that you're going to have a list, a CSV, people that bought multiple times, a list of people that spent over $100, over $200, whatever your price point is. So, again, that's based on that could be based on a $20 product. But if you're selling, info products or high-end courses or whatever, maybe it's $5,000. People have to spend over that. That's you can change the amount there. You can change the that specific variable. So that's something to consider there. Does that make sense for everybody? How important it is to begin segmenting. I see Van just hit a like. What's up, brother? I don't know if you're watching anymore. You just liked it, but it was awesome getting to hang in Barcelona. Does that make sense though with everybody? Like how important it is? And it's more important today than ever because Facebook is really changing a lot of the targeting options for us as advertisers. So a lot of the third-party data we're dependent on, behavioral audiences, demographic audiences, have already been done away with in a lot of Europe. And probably around September, you'll start losing them for your targeting. And so what that leaves us with is, sure, we have some internal demographic data from Facebook. We have some internal behavior audiences from Facebook. We have, Facebook rolled out the ability to break down Facebook page admins to more specific types of pages, which is great. What's up, Juan? How's it going? But really, you're reliant on super broad targeting, interests, going zero targeting, which works for some of our offers, and then your lookalikes. And so your data, your CRM data, your buyer data, your lead data, all of that is more valuable than it's ever been. Because again, September, when that happens, when they turn off a lot of those audiences, a lot of people on Facebook are going to have a lot of problems and they're going to struggle to find winning audiences because they've been dependent on third-party data for a long time. We don't want to be dependent on third-party data. I want to be dependent on myself, right? I can trust myself, so I want to have the data. I don't want to be dependent on somebody else's data. And so the more data you can collect right now, the more aggressive you can get in customer acquisition, lead generation, video views, engagement, all of those various custom audiences that you can break things down by is important because now you have more flexibility to break out your custom audiences. So even for us, like we're now starting for Survival Life, we're really getting focused on specific product buyers. So we have various products in our free plus shipping. We were doing, lookalikes on top of all buyers, and that was great at first. But now we're getting, we have thousands of buyers in each product. So now we're building lookalikes 1%, 2%, 5%, 10% on each individual product. So instead of just driving, the Ranger bracelet to a 1% buyer lookalike, we're now focusing on the 1% Ranger buyer lookalike and the 2% Ranger buyer lookalike. And so it's getting a little more targeted, a little more personalized, and those audiences are performing better than the generic all buyer, all lead, all page view audiences. So this is really, really key, especially when it comes to scaling. Once you start to get to a certain level of spend, the more specific and targeted and detailed the underlying data is, the more powerful Facebook is going to be able to make those lookalikes. What's up, Timothy? I always love listening to your different approach. It's so much valuable and say, awesome job. Losing third-party targeting sucks, but you should be able to have your own data. Yeah. So again, I think it sucks. With a lot of our accounts, I've been running under the assumption the last 3 months, like it's not going to be there. So we've been finding other ways. And so for a lot of our offers, that's why we like broad mass market products, because we can do broad targeting on the front end, target just, men between 35 and 65 and go super broad that way and just test the hell out of our landing pages, our copy, our creative, all the little variables. That's where people, in my opinion, know this is something I talked about at Affiliate World, but I think it's important to talk about here. Like that's where people, in my opinion, really get lazy and lack the ability to be successful with Facebook ads. I think that's, in my opinion, the biggest linchpin with most people running ads on Facebook is a lot of their resources, time-wise and cost-wise, goes to audiences and not enough goes to ads and actually testing the ads and the destination. If you look at I shared this article like 2 weeks ago, I think, about the Trump campaign and the Clinton campaign. on Facebook and the difference between those two campaigns. And the biggest difference, they're doing like case studies and research on this internally. They're talking about it internally at Facebook, the Trump Facebook campaign. I think the Clinton campaign tested 50,000 ads, I believe. The Trump campaign, I think it was like 6 million or something. It was in the millions of ads they tested. At one point, the Trump Facebook ad team was testing 100,000 ads a day. And that was an X factor, right? Because you'd be surprised at how subtle changes and subtle tweaks can improve conversion rates and decrease cost per acquisition, cost per lead. Even things as subtle as, changing the call to action from shop now to get offer. We've seen, increases there. Something as subtle as if you're doing free plus shipping, including that you need to pay for shipping on the copy could change that. Like there are so many testing, no call to action versus call to action, testing, video ads with square bars on top with text versus just nicer square videos. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands, frankly, of variables that can be tested at an ad level. And that's where breakthroughs happen. There's only so many audiences you can test. There are way more ad variations that can be tested than audiences. And so a lot of people that are killing it, they're not doing much targeting at all. They're leveraging in the beginning, they're going super broad to get real low CPMs and get a lot of data. Then they're moving over to lookalikes from 2% to 10%, going super broad on lookalikes, feeding Facebook a ton of data and just going crazy on the ad testing. And that's where their focus is. And then obviously the follow-up with the retargeting and everything there. Timmy said, I'll be in Orlando. I was telling Jeremy we should get all together and get a drink. Yeah, definitely. Let us know when you're in town, man. We'll definitely grab a drink and meet up. So yeah, I don't want to make this a super long video. I know it was longer than I anticipated, but I want to kind of showcase what I spoke about on stage at Affiliate World and tell you about the event, how awesome it was, how amazing all of their talks were, and the fact that you can watch all the replays now. It's live. The replay is finally up. So if you want to improve your business this year, if you want to improve your ads this year, if you want to make more money this year, then this is something you need to get today. It's a no-brainer investment. The ROI is there. All you need to pick up is pick up one tip from 19 in this video, even one from all 19 of them, not like one for each one, but 1 out of 19. That's enough to, make a big return. So obviously you'll get my entire recording, but you'll get from, the recordings and the replays from everyone else's stage talk, plus all the panels. Plus you get the slides. So you can download the slides as well, which is really cool. But yeah, in that presentation, I share a lot of cool stuff. I talk about my thank you video ad. I talk about our customer appreciation ads. I talk about cross-selling. I talk about value ladder ascension. So how we're taking our first-time buyers and moving them up to higher price point products and increasing the profit per customer. Talking about affiliate monetization ads. So if you're a single product company and you have a limited additional upsells or cross-sells, how you can leverage affiliate offers to kind of fill that void in your marketing. So you can still have upsells, you can still have cross-sells, you can still increase that lifetime value. I share actually how you can use offline events to track affiliate sales, which is a really cool ninja tactic. So you can actually, even if you don't have a pixel on the affiliate page, the thank you page for the affiliate offer, you can still attribute sales back to ads, which is really freaking cool. So for example, I have an offline event set for ClickFunnels signups. And so every ad I run, this is on. So it's recognizing anybody that clicks or watches this ad. So I can actually upload on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, the CSV I can export for ClickFunnels of signups. I can import it into my offline event sets in my ad manager. And Facebook will then match that person with their Facebook ID, their Facebook profile. And then it'll see if that person clicked or watched this ad and attribute that sale or lead back to the ad. So I can actually track affiliate signups, affiliate sales without needing to pixel with offline event sets. So I go into how we can do that, some of the ads we run, the tracking strategy, our UGC strategy for getting customer acquisition, so how we solicit UGC and how we use UGC, Obviously, analyzing our existing customer list and breaking it down. We talked a little about that right now. How we're segmenting those, some key audience and segmentations we're doing, the type of lookalikes we're building from there, how we're doing that dynamically with advanced custom audiences, how we're doing that manually as a backup source with CRM data, kind of the benefits of doing this and focusing just on the higher end lookalikes. That's all super important. On the front end, share some stuff about our a little bit of cold traffic, what our goals are there. We talk about some of our top of the funnel stuff. Mainly it's bottom of the funnel. Part of the talk was our multi-channel marketing approach. So how we're combining our email marketing system, Drip, with our paid traffic, specifically Facebook. So we're syncing the marketing initiatives. So we know that, hey, if we're doing this on our email sequences right now to leads, we're consistent with that on our email, on our Facebook retargeting. So if you just finished a specific sequence and you're about to start a sequence for an affiliate product for Adrian Morrison's Ecom Success Academy, we're now going to hit you with ads for that simultaneously. So you're seeing it on Facebook, you're seeing it in email, you're seeing it on Instagram, you're seeing it on Audience Network. We're omnipresent with the messaging. You're going to hit in multiple places, not just your email inbox. So how we're doing kind of cross-channel marketing there. This is pretty cool. I love what we're doing right now with Drip to sync our mailing and paid traffic efforts. Our view content retargeting strategy, we go into detail. Some of our top ad units we're running there, testimonial carousels. Our focus is on the abandoned cart retargeting to maximize average order value and not dilute the brand with discounting. Some of the dynamic product ads we're running. And again, just what we do with discounting customers. Way we're looking at data, how we're finding offer leaks and campaign leaks before we scale. This is really key. So the ads we're actually running to our non-buyers after they drop out of a funnel to learn more about why they didn't buy, what problems they had, so we can do a better job objection blocking for new traffic in our funnel, in our ads, in our emails, all that stuff. Then obviously a lot of it is our post-purchase retargeting and the ads we run there. So yeah, it was a lot of stuff that was covered. Again, if you guys want to see that entire talk, it's like a 31-minute talk, I think. About 31 minutes. Highly recommend checking out the links in the comments below to check out the full replay. But again, there's just so much incredible content in here. There's 19 total talks. That includes stage talks, end panels with some of the best marketers in the world. I think it's got, let me see. So everything from pre-launch strategies to lead value increases to conversion rate increases to influencer marketing to finding products for e-commerce, all that stuff is incredible. And again, like the conference tickets were about 1,200 euro. So it's super expensive event to attend live. You're getting it for a steal to watch the entire replay, and you can do it from your couch. So you get all the there's 4 hours and 40 minutes of affiliate marketing content and 8 videos there. So these are some of the top speakers: Ryan Dice, Ali Gardner, Mawar Benaim, Kelly Sheffield, Scott Rewick. And then on the e-commerce side, you're going to get 5 hours and 28 minutes, 10 videos from Nathan Chan, Greta Van Riel, Van Oaks, Tan, Evan, and Steve, myself. And then there's a bunch of other, Ben Malal, Mohammed, some panels, some absolutely incredible stuff. So if you want to grab that, go grab it. It's just packed full of amazing goodies and value. So again, I dropped the link below. I'm also thinking about, depending on how many people actually grab the replay, for people that grab it through my link, doing a special bonus. It'll probably be a kind of mini online mastermind where we can do like an hour to 2 hour, maybe Zoom. Everyone's videos on where we can kind of, I can help and the group can help troubleshoot problems in your business, help find holes in your business, help improve on your traffic, your offer, all that stuff. So that's something I'm going to do for anybody that grabs the replay. Obviously, depending on size. I don't think a ton of people will buy, but if a ton do, we might have to restructure it a little bit. But I think for a few people, that could be a really fun idea. I'm not sure how long the replay link is going to be up for. So just make sure you grab it today. It's a no-brainer. So much content in there. You can grab it going into the weekend, spend some time this weekend watching some of the sessions. Obviously, the number 1 session, which is mine, you can watch that one first. And then you can move on to Ryan Dice's and some of the people that aren't as good. I'm just kidding. Ryan's session was absolutely amazing, and just a great dude. It was so cool to get to meet him and his amazing wife. We got to hang out with them at dinner and all kinds of good stuff. So these are the best people in the industry sharing their best stuff. This was to a paid environment. I think it was $1,200 a ticket, €1,200 ticket, which is even more. So you're getting it for a steal, and you don't have to travel to Spain and deal with a long flight and all that stuff and crying babies. You just get to hang out on your couch and learn and crush your goals this year. So that's all I have for today. As usual, if anybody has any questions about this, anybody watching the replay that has questions, feel free to just let me know, drop it in the comments here, and I'll do my best to answer them in a prompt fashion. But I got to hop off. I have a little consulting session to do right now. So everybody here has an awesome, incredible day, and look forward to seeing all the ones that get the replay. It's a incredible investment. So looking forward to seeing who actually is investing in themselves and taking their business to the next level this year. I always like knowing those people. Awesome, guys. Thank you.